Jubilee, Sapphire Shores, A True Love by switched up. Not long after that, Culture's former manager, St. Gallup, has been revealed to be using her for his personal gain. Sapphire Shores was actually there for her to support her and helping her to find a new manager. And Culture was so grateful for Sapphire's help to find a new manager. And over time, Cultura and Sapphire have actually been working together by making new music. But for just one thing that they didn't expect at most, that their friendship would turn out to be much better than friends, best friends. They actually been called themselves as best friends. They even make albums together, music together, concerts, charity. And with help from Sapphire, Cultura's confidence for the public and for her new manager actually improved over the past few weeks and a couple of months after. But it was just one thing that Sapphire actually wanted to do the most. She wanted to actually to have a concert for one of her closest friends, Sherry Jubilee. Sherry Jubilee and Sapphire have been friends for a couple of years, even though that Sherry often visits with her business, but they always write letters to each other or perhaps visit when Sapphire doesn't have any concert or any very busy schedule for during her time. But over this time, Sapphire had actually started being falling in love with Sherry, even though that she hasn't been able to tell her in direct, or even she wrote her in letters. Sometimes she had to wait perhaps days or perhaps weeks to even be able to read the letters, because sometimes when they have been reading letters, she often has to leave town because for a tour, which sometimes can last for weeks to several months. And when she gets back, she always reads the letters, and perhaps then if she wrote to Sherry telling her that she is in love with her deeply and want to be with her, and then suddenly Sherry Jubilee writes back and tells her she likes her but only as a friend, that would devastate Sherry Sapphire's dreams to be with Sherry Jubilee forever. So she would actually prefer to telling her personally, even though she wanted to tell her directly. But so for the very schedule, she has a very tight schedule for the past couple of months, mostly recording new albums, making new lyrics for new songs, charity conversations, concerts, and a few tours. She hasn't had any opportunity to take a break. But then she actually told her manager that she has been feeling tired lately, and she actually went to her doctors, and the doctors told her that she is overworked. She had pushed her body and herself to the limit. If she pushed it too more, it would only lead to more health problems. She could end up fainting during a concert, which she was either she and her manager didn't want to. So Sapphire told her manager that she needed some break, and even had a written on from her doctor telling him that she needs a break. And since Sapphire doesn't have any concerts or any recordings for the next several months to go, so she actually had time off from her business. So she decided to take a break and wrote a letter to Sherry Jubilee telling her that she's actually coming over for a visit. And Sherry Jubilee writes back, and she is so excited. When they actually meet, Sherry Jubilee couldn't be happier to see her old friend again, and she had been asking her how her career is going on for her. Sapphire actually tells her that it's going so well. It's nothing much of a problem anymore. She has a lot of friends, she had a lot of support from her friends and family, and Sapphire always had this passion for singing, acting. But the most she actually loved the most is singing. And some of the songs she had written for the past year or so was actually about her feelings for Jubilee. But she is the only one who knows about it, because she hasn't told any pony about the true purpose about the songs. But this time Jubilee had actually been thinking about her old friend by asking her if she wanted to come over and spend some time to get to know each other more better and at least talk, spend some time. It has been a while they ever do that. And since Sapphire has a very tight schedule sometimes, they really don't speak or see each other as often. And this was the one of the few times when they actually had enough time to spend time with each other. Sometimes Jubilee asks if Sapphire should probably be thinking cutting down her schedule sometimes, or perhaps quit being a singer and be something like that, something a singer teacher or an actor, or something else. Sapphire had actually been thinking about herself the past few months. Since her schedule has been so tight lately, she even had asked her manager if they could cut down some of the schedule. But he said he knows anyone that she doesn't want to have to push so much on her time. She actually wants to have the ability to take time off from her work just to relax, to have her own time. But the manager tried to at least try to put out cut off on some of the work. At least he actually managed to cut down at least some of the tours from sometimes last from 2 to 3 weeks and one lasted for a whole year. But instead of a whole year, she actually been cut down from 6 months or 5 months at the most. But that's actually the least he could take. But during her time at Jubilee's business, she actually had been feeling more happier, seeing her old friend and especially her crush in person, or at least in pony. She could never be more happier. But Jubilee had no idea about Sapphire's feelings for her. Even though one night, when after Jubilee had went to her room, she can hearing Sapphire been singing to herself, but this time it was actually a new, different song nobody had even heard about. This wasn't even a song that she had been writing down either. And part of the song mentioned Cherry, but not the last part name, only Cherry. And of course, Jubilee didn't know at first that she thought maybe that she liked Cherry Berry, but not at all about her. But once she heard the name after Gigi was finished singing, I wish I could be with you, Jubilee, and then she went to bed. She had no idea that Jubilee actually heard all of it, even the song and the last thing she said before she went to bed. The next day, Jubilee tried to act as normal, even now she knows about her feelings, Sapphire's feelings for her. But the most that she just tried to act as normal. But it was a bit hard. She told Sapphire that she needs to go to her business for a few hours, and she actually did that. But in fact, she actually went there. She's supposed to be there for 4 hours, most. but she actually went there for 3.5 hours. The last half hour, she actually went to town and bought something just for Sapphire. When she gets back, Sapphire had no idea what she had bought for her. It was actually flowers and candy, especially chocolate filled with cherry flavor, which was actually Sapphire's favorite. She had no idea what all this gift was about. She thought maybe this is as a gift for her fans that she loved to be staying there, or as a thanks to be as a friend. But it turns out, after that Jubilee, Sapphire had been saying that about Jubilee, she actually been thinking about herself. Because lately she has been thinking about Sapphire and about her relationship with her as a friend. She often thinks, what if that particular relationship took the next step to be dating and perhaps marriage? And of course, they had no idea. Sheridan told her that she heard her singing and especially the last part. Sapphire had no more other than reaction to be red in her face. She was so red, but then Sheridan Boley actually walked up to her and kissed her, saying that she was so sweet to her, saying how she cares about her, how she loves her. And she said that she would be okay with dating. Sapphire had no idea. She didn't exactly know what to respond to that. But instead she kissed her back and said that they could dating, and which they did. And they actually went on several days when Sapphire was as long as she was there, but then she had to go back to her business again. And of course, both of them wished that they could see it more often, and they just hope this long distance part of the relationship won't take out of it. Make that they hope that it's to last longer. Of course, a couple of weeks after that, Sapphire had actually returned back to Manhattan to recording her songs. She had one unexpected visitor. It was actually Sherry Jubilee. She had actually been in town for several times to make some business with her own company. But this time she actually were there to do some business with some company to take care of her cherry berries and bake yams or something else. But then after this meeting, she decided to go to this recording studio where Sherry Jubilee's girlfriend Sapphire was actually working. Sapphire had no idea. Her manager kept that as a secret, and after the recording was done, she saw that Sherry Jubilee in her lodge, and she was so happy. It turns out Sherry Jubilee is going to stay in Manhattan for about a few days before she has to go back. But it was just a long enough time for them both to spend time. Of course, it didn't take much time for the public to know about Sherry Jubilee and Sapphire Shores being a couple. Of course, they just tried to avoid any confrontation or any type of conflict between fans saying that she shouldn't date Sherry Jubilee, but nothing has happened. The public, her fans, just happen to see her to be happy with her special song song, even if it's a mare. But there has been a few talks in the past that Sherry Jubilee has actually been something more to Sapphire. Some of her fans believe that she was more than as a friend, that they were actually been dating all the time, or that they just been very old friends, very close friends, like sisters or anything. But it turns out that they were actually being now in love. And during this, for the past few months before Sapphire been told she's going to do a tour. And of course, she means that she won't be able to see her girlfriend for next 6 weeks. And that will only take heart of her. But then, suddenly, before they actually went on tour, Sherry Jubilee gave her a necklace shaped as a heart, and you could open it. Inside was a picture with them both next to each other, and that what she knows, even if that she's so far away from each other, but her heart will always be with her. And so, Sapphire thanked her for the gift and went on a tour. Even though this tour lasted for 6 weeks, she could still feel her presence, even that she was so far away but still so close. After, after the tour was over, Sapphire was so happy to see Cherry Jubilee again. She actually went to her business, and even then, they spent some time, and even just before the same evening, during their date, having dinner in a local restaurant, Sapphire actually had a special gift to give to Cherry Jubilee. She actually proposed to Cherry Jubilee, and she said yes immediately. All the ponies in the restaurant, including staff, and they all shared for them. It didn't take much time for both of them to be announced their engagement, and after nearly 2 months, the wedding was started. They actually had a wedding in Manhattan. Both of them actually were so happy to be married. They even had been together for a few months, and then now this. After the wedding, they actually went to a tropical island for 2 weeks. And then, of course, both of them wanted, after this some time, they came back, they went back to business. Even though they lived in separate ways, but that was only for a few weeks until Sapphire actually had Cherry Jubilee moving to Manhattan. Cherry opened an office in Manhattan to take care of business. And only about a few years later, they actually wanted to have their own family. So they actually adopted 2 daughters and 1 son from a local orphanage in Manhattan. And that's how Cherry Jubilee, Sapphire Shores from the True Love got a family. The end.